If you feel like living on a low income automatically means you have to live stressed, deprived, or constantly behind, I get it. I know how you feel. But the truth is that that's simply not true. Friends, there are old-fashioned ways of living that people used for generations that I have rediscovered. That when money is tight and when resources are limited, life can still be full, meaningful, and even overjoyed. In this video, I'm going to share a few old-fashioned lifestyle habits that can help you thrive on a low income and actually enjoy your life more without needing to add more things and money to it. So right now I'm in the middle of preparing for something simple, a pizza party. We've got friends coming over in just a bit, and this might not seem like something extravagant, but I'm going to show you how this very simple meal can be really wonderful. And this brings me to my first tip. Tip 1 is prioritizing gathering with others when you can. So in the old days, friends and family, they used to get together. That was just a part of life. People didn't wait until everything was perfect. They didn't wait until the house was big enough or clean enough or the food was fancy enough. They didn't wait for the timing to be ideal. They gathered anyway. I still have the most fond memories of my own family's gatherings when I was a child growing up. I especially love Dad's side of the family's gatherings. They seemed like they were always looking for reasons to get together, and they would get together over the smallest little things. They were dirt poor, not kidding, but they did not let that stop them. Everybody would start to come in as they could, and a lot of the ladies would bring a dish. The home was small, so half the crowd would be in the yard, the other half inside. It was always tight. It was simple, but it was so full of life. And honestly, those memories, they meant more than anything we didn't have. None of us cared that we didn't have much. We had each other. We had fun, and I will always cherish those times. Lately, I've been making more of an effort to gather with friends, and it has been so good, not just socially, not just for the kids, but for my mental health too. So I would like to encourage you, take a note from the old timers. Gather with neighbors, gather with friends. Don't wait for perfect conditions to build meaningful connections. Tip 2 is to make hospitality very simple, affordable, and doable. So another old-fashioned habit is that hospitality wasn't about impressing people in the old days. I mean, I'm sure there was families where it was. I mean, that's where the phrase keeping up with the Joneses came from, but we're not doing that. This is about welcoming people. So in my family, Grandma never stressed about matching decor or elaborate meals. She always opened her home up as it was. And I'm going to tell you something. Grandma wasn't much of a neat freak. In fact, she was the absolute opposite. You literally would have to move newspapers around for a place to sit. She, I'm going to be really honest, was a little bit of a hoarder. But although a lot of the family would kind of joke about it, her gatherings were the best. They were the best because everybody was relaxed. Nobody had to worry about if they accidentally spilled something. Nobody had to worry about what they look like or, looking super polished, going over. We just went over. Everybody would go. Everybody would relax and kick up their feet and just take it easy and have a good time. When you remove the pressure to perform, hospitality becomes natural. It becomes sustainable. It starts being more about people and their spirits and growth and connection and less of a burden. It becomes a rhythm of life. And that's the goal. Not occasional stressful hosting where everything is spit and polished till it shines, but a lifestyle of openness and warmth that you can actually maintain and thrive with. Okay, if you're thinking, Shayla, this sounds nice, but I don't have the time. I don't have the money, and I definitely don't have the energy for this. Stick with me because the next few tips are where this really becomes practical. And honestly, this is where old-fashioned living starts to change your everyday life in a real way. The next tip that I have for you today is to take a food that is old-fashioned and maybe even ancient, that's not normally considered elegant, and step it up just a notch. There are a variety of ways you can do this, but let's take pizza for an example. Pizza actually started as a poverty food. In the 18th and 19th century, Naples, it was a cheap, fast, filling meal for working class people, and it was eaten on the go, sold on the street, and topped with whatever was available. Things like olive oil, garlic, tomatoes, herbs, and sometimes even a fish or lard, believe it or not. It was a humble food, and for a long time, it was even looked down on by the wealthy. So pizza is simple. It's very simple by nature. It was born out of necessity, but one of the ways you can take a food like that and elevate it is, of course, in the toppings. Fresh tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, and even just a couple of fresh mushrooms. And finished with a drizzle of olive oil is not a pizza to be underestimated. And you can take this next level and make it so elegant. But more importantly, is actually in how you cook it. So let me explain what I mean. In a regular home oven, pizza doesn't behave the same way. You don't get that fast rise. You miss the chewy interior, the airy crust that's lightly charred on the outside. It bakes slower, it dries out more, and the texture is just different. But when you cook pizza the right way, at the right temperature, it becomes something extra special, which brings me to today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is by Bighorn, and this is something we've genuinely been using and loving in our home. We've had our Bighorn pizza oven since last November, so about 3 months now. And here's the thing, some products you use, and this one, we actually celebrate with. I have actually started hosting pizza nights for those friends and family gatherings just so we can share an extra special and elegant pizza with the people we love. Because when you make something that is this good, you don't keep it to yourself. You turn it into an experience to treat your favorite people with. This oven cooks at true Neapolitan-style temperatures up to 850 degrees, which means a fast rise, a soft and chewy inside, a beautifully blistered crust, and pizza that cooks in about 3 minutes. Yep, 3 minutes. It preheats in about 15 minutes, has precise temperature control, and heats from both the top and bottom so everything cooks evenly. And it's not just for pizza. It can be used for bread, chicken wings, steaks, pies, even baguettes. We love doing chicken wings in this thing. It makes the best chicken wings in the entire world. I also love the flip-up design because this means it saves counter space and storage space. Cleanup is easy because of the removable stone. You can take it in or out. One quick note is this oven really shines with fresh dough. Pre-made crust will not give the same result, not at all. Bighorn has a great dough recipe on their site, and so I will link to that below for you. You guys, this takes a humble, simple food, and it turns it into something elegant, nourishing, and beautiful, and that's exactly why we love it. If you would like to check this oven out, look in the description box and comments for the link below. Oh, by the way, if you want the recipe for my Neapolitan-style pizza crust, I will put that video in the description and comments below as well. So check those out today. And thank you so much, Bighorn, for sponsoring today's video and making this video possible. The next tip that I have is to build a rhythm at home. So homes used to run on a rhythm, meals at certain times, chores woven into the day, and general sense of structures were placed. That kind of rhythm, it creates stability, especially in a busy household. And you know what? It can help you save money. When your home has a flow, everything feels less chaotic, less things are forgotten, even when life feels really full. And the next is one that I kind of picked up by observing my grandmother. She was so thrifty. She knew prices. She knew where the cheapest things were around town. Now that can be kind of hard to figure actually. That's not an easy feat to learn how to do, especially if you're a really busy mama. I think all of us are guilty of just picking something up at a specific store because it's convenient. So here is how I have found a way to avoid that. I started saving receipts. Now, allow me to tell you how I keep things like the rhythm and my receipts and keep track of all of those things easily. Perhaps you're wondering what this big pile, this messy looking pile is here. This is like my brain. This is my seriously, this is like my brain right here in the kitchen. So if I don't have my planner, my Bible, also the little, this is our
home cleaning schedule, but if I don't have this right here, then it's kind of like in the corner and out of sight and out of mind, and then things don't get done. But it's right here because this is where I will see it and remember, read a Bible verse, look at the planner, let's see what we got to get done, what's important today. And more importantly though, what pertains to this video is I have a food section in my planner, and in the food section of my planner, there is the receipts. I keep all of the receipts right here, and I like it in the kitchen because this is where I'm prone to be shopping or needing it. So what I'll do is when I get the receipts after my big, huge shopping haul days, I will save them, I'll go print them, and then I'll put them in the food section of the planner. That way, when I'm shopping, which I normally do through Walmart grocery app, is I will be able to price compare that way, and I'll be able to say, okay, this is way cheaper at Walmart this month, or this is way more expensive at Walmart this month. So we're gonna save that for the next big city Costco trip or Winco trip. Now, alternatively, you could print the receipts and keep it with you in your purse, perhaps from when you're out shopping. See, I don't go off the mountain very often. I don't go to the big cities. I don't go to the town very often at all. I prefer just kind of staying on the mountain here in the woods. I enjoy shopping a little bit, but I'm so happy out here in the woods that I'm perfectly fine to say, honey, could you just pick up whatever at Walmart today or do the grocery pickup today, because I don't want to waste the gas money going into town and he's already there. So for me, this works better to do it this way, but for you, if you're the one who does all the grocery shopping, you might want to keep it in your purse, or you could take a picture of your receipts and keep it on your phone. That way, when you're shopping, you will be able to always price compare and know where has the best deals.
The next tip is don't toss raggedy sheets and towels and t-shirts. So in the past, people didn't view worn out fabric as trash like we do. They see it as something that still had a lot of life left. Old linens can be repurposed into cleaning cloth, drop cloths for projects, or cut down into smaller, more manageable pieces for everyday chores. You can even use them as like replacement for paper towels and napkins. Cotton and flannel works especially well for all kinds of things because it's really soft and absorbent and washable, and it can be used again and again and again. I have always kept a rag basket in my home. I have an attractive little basket that I think I got at a Dollar General probably 15 years ago, and that's where all of the rags or cloths that have finished their life as one thing go to live as something else. Just this week I had a t-shirt that made its final voyage through the washing machine as a t-shirt. It came out falling apart. So instead of throwing it away, I put it straight into the rag basket. Now from there, the rags can be so many different kinds of ways. For wiping up spills in the kitchen, like I said, as a paper towel replacement, cleaning counters and appliances, dusting furniture, washing windows or mirrors, wiping down baseboards, or even handling messes that you don't want to use your good towels on. When it comes to using these, think projects like painting, staining, or anything where you need something disposable but still reusable in practice. This is a really small habit, but it reflects that old-fashioned mindset of stewardship and using things completely without wasting, and making everyday life more practical without constantly buying new supplies. All right, this next tip is definitely one I talk about a lot here on this channel, but it's to use all the scraps. So you can see I'm making a pan of chicken here. Whenever you cook chicken or even beef, there are always bones left, unless it's boneless. So if you're cooking anything with bones, there's going to be bones left over. You don't have to throw those away. Don't throw them away. You have no idea how much flavor and goodness is still left in them. This is where we take all of those bones, all of the scraps from the meal, everything that was left over and not eaten, and you can put it in a big pot and make broth with it. You can boil it down. I like to do mine in the Instant Pot. The Instant Pot, it cooks things at a higher pressure, so it gets all of the cartilage and it kind of melts it into the broth, and you get this thick, luxurious, lovely, and so nutritious broth left over. But we're not done there. So once you have boiled all the goodness out of all the scraps and strained it, you're going to have bones left still. You can take it another step further. Take whatever you have left, and after you've drained all of the moisture out of it, you can put all of the bones into your wood stove, and it basically makes an ash, like a potash, that you can put on your plants and your gardens, and it makes an excellent, completely free soil amendment for your gardens. It provides potassium, calcium, magnesium. It promotes plant growth, fruiting, and flowering. It can help raise pH in acid soils. My last tip for this video is to make the home a place people want to be. So back in the old days, people didn't need to go out constantly for entertainment because the home was the place to be. It was comfortable, welcoming, lived in, where the good times happened. There was usually something cooking on the stove, something happening somewhere, and someone stopping by. So when you shift your mindset and start investing your energy into your home environment, something starts to change. You naturally spend less money going out, and you gain more time together as a family, and you end up saving money. So I learned this early on in marriage. When my husband and I were newly married, we lived in this tiny little home that honestly needed some work, and in my mind, it was going to be temporary. We were not planning to be there long, so I didn't really see the point in putting a lot of effort into making it feel homey. We ended up being there longer than I thought we were going to be, though. I remember my mom came to visit not long after we got married, though, and she asked me what my plans were for the house, like what was I going to do with the place and how I was going to make it feel like a home. And I told her, well, I don't really know if I'm going to do very much because we are hoping to not be here very long. And she said something that always stuck with me. She said, you should make it nice anyway because you don't know how long you'll actually be here. And she went on to tell me that if she hadn't done that in the homes we had lived in growing up, it would have made it so much harder for her to be a homemaker and harder for her to enjoy being a homemaker and being in her own spaces. And so that really shifted something in me because she was right. You don't always know how long a season's going to last, and if you're constantly waiting for the better house or the next place, you end up living in a space that never feels quite settled and quite inviting. And I have actually seen this play out over and over again in my life. The homemakers that I've seen over the past 20 years who don't enjoy being home, who always feel the need to leave and get out of the house. A lot of times it's because they never made their home a place they actually want to be. Now, I want to say this very clearly. You don't need a lot of money to do this. And I know because I've lived it. I am living proof. Now, I get comments all the time here where people assume we must not be low income because of how our home looks. People are, but probably once or twice a week, they get their butts in a rut and they leave a nasty comment about our home, because I only show the really nice rooms, by the way. I'm not showing the rest of the unfinished rooms and the unfinished drywall and the Tyvek on the outside of the house. Not very often anyways. I only show the nice rooms. So naturally people think that there's no way we could be low income. But the truth is, I call my home style the Goodwill style. Most of the decor in this house was bought secondhand at the Goodwill store, usually for $3 or less. Honestly, most of the decor in this home was bought for $3 or less. Dishes, secondhand. Baskets, secondhand. Decor pieces, thrifted. And there are a few things that I've splurged on here, but it's rare that I will spend more than $25 on any kind of home decor or home goods for our home. And the things that I didn't get at the Goodwill, they came from the Dollar General. Oh, and paint. A fresh coat of paint is one of the most old-fashioned, budget-friendly ways to completely change a space. People have been doing that forever, taking what they have and giving it new life with a fresh coat of paint. So making your home a place that you want to be. It's not about money, it's about intention. It's about deciding, this is where God has placed me right now, so I am going to make the most of it. I'm going to make it welcoming. I'm going to make it a place where I feel like being, and where a place I feel like making life happen. And when you do that and you make home a place you want to be, it means you're not out spending money.